The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheeese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and welcome to Season 1, Episode 44 of the Whine and Cheese in the Metaverses Show.
Today, Ben and I were on our own again, but with a few live viewers, which was very nice. Thank you. We talked Upland, looked at the many articles that were submitted to us, and talked about marriage.
So get yourselves ready to get full meta jacket, and please, for the love of all the gods, past, present, and emerging, don't listen to this at 1x speed. Crank that playback speed way up for what is undoubtedly the shittiest episode yet of
the worst show ever. Seriously.
Whine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. Time for wine and cheese.
One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Welcome to episode 44 of the Whine and Cheese and Metaverses show. We have Ben here. We have some people joining in. It's going to be our last kind of live for a while. We're going to have guests on, starting up in first week in August. So we thought it would be cool, since it's just Ben and I, we invite other people on to do it with us live.
Yes. So we'll be back to our regular shitty programming from next week.
Yes. Not that this is any less shitty.
Well, this might be the worst one yet, because we're not prepared at all for today, and we haven't looked. Neither you nor I have even looked at these articles. So
I know this is good. That's great, though.
Shall be interesting.
Before we get into the articles, let's talk some Upland. All right. Yay, shitty programming.
Let's do it, dude.
Yes.
Let's do it, dude.
All right. So let me get to there. We have announcements. This coming Tuesday, we're going to get the collection announcements. So that's August 2nd at 5 a.m. PT. That's really freaking early. But I mean, it's good. We should cater to the country that we're in time-wise. I think that's a great idea that they had. So do you have any collections you think are gonna make it? I know you were telling me about your Copa beachfront.
Yeah, I think that road along Copacabana beachfront, I think that might be perhaps a rare, like whatever that one is in, I think it's Lakeshore Drive or something, isn't it, in Chicago, the rare collection along there. Possibly. Might even be a double collection. Obviously, Copacabana might be a neighborhood collection. I don't really care. I don't do collections anymore. I don't waste any time, effort, energy speculating about collections, chasing collections. I don't even bother minting collections once the minting's released. Yeah.
But it's a good flip. It's a nice flip.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good play. It's just more a case of where I'm at with my account in general. I think, yeah. I don't go chasing dividends anymore because it's already established, that sort of thing. And especially since as soon as Upland clipped the dividends, I just stopped chasing dividends, because I worked my butt off for almost 2 years, or it might have been at the 2-year mark. And I just reached over 2 million, which was my biggest, that's what I'd been aiming for ages, to get to 2 million UPEX a month. I just reached that, just leveled up to chief executive. And then I think it was like a week or two later, they clipped it and I went way back down to 1.7 million. I know, boo-hoo, 1.7 million. Oh, poor you. But it was just one of those things. It was more the fact that they had clipped the dividends on just such very poor foundations. 10 people had Block Explorer shops. So they thought, okay, people have it. Now they've got extra ways to make money, so let's cut the dividends. I'm like, yeah, come on, that's not cool. So
yeah, that wasn't cool at all.
Yes, well, and everyone keeps saying, well, but they might raise them. Yeah, and never going to happen.
Let it all out, Ben. Let it all
That's
out.
never going to. Well, it is the Whine and Cheese show, and I haven't had a good wine for a while, so.
This is going to be your wine episode. I can see it.
Yes.
Talking
well,
about
normally when I'm not prepared, I dive into the wine. Yes.
Continuing about Rio, they also have that rush thing starting today at 12. Well, it started half an hour ago. Actually, this is going to air tomorrow, so it started yesterday.
So we hope you did well. Yeah, Roro said in chat the Rio Rush is on right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you hang about in Rio?
Me? No.
Yeah. You were there though, right?
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some. I didn't really go into any speculation stuff. It's so hard to mint nowadays for the city openings. I just kind of get whatever's in my path or whatever is open and just hope for the best.
Well, it just happened to be. It happened to be. Well, it was a full Samurai Aquatics moment. I think it was about 10 minutes before the city released. I was just cruising straight through Copacabana, and then I just went straight out in the ocean. And my tail stayed in Copacabana long enough. So, but I tried one of those multi-tab. I just wanted to test that out for myself on the laptop. So I opened up multiple browsers, multiple sessions, and I was just playing around.
Did it work?
No, I think it might have worked, but there was just too many people there just going crazy. So I still minted 4 properties in Copacabana. I could have, if I hadn't have done that, if I'd have just stuck to mobile, I could have minted easy 10 because I could have got 3 beachfront straight away because I was right on beachfront. And in fact, Addo from UDU, we were chatting in the UDU server, and he's like, because I was posting the screenshots of where I was, and he's like, okay, I know where you are. As soon as you've minted that first one, he was going to jump on and mint all the other ones on the coast. And we even coordinated. He's like, where you are now, are you going to mint and go north or south? And I said, I'll just go south so that we weren't, stepping over each other. But yeah, that just went so quick. By the time I finished playing around with the laptop and got to my mobile, all of the coastal properties were gone. But I just went inland on my tail a bit and was still able to mint 3 super easy. And then
That's cool.
Ipanema, or however you say that, I grabbed a couple there, and then I just went and gobbled up a whole bunch of cheapies. So I ended up with 37, I think, and then I picked up another 13 on the floor to get to a bag of 50 that I'll sit on.
Wow, 50.
So what did you go in for any of the speculation, or did you just smash and grab what you could, or what was your plan?
Smash and grab.
Yeah.
Smash and grab.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get something second market, which was, not something I usually do, but it was a nice big chunk in Copacabana by the water, and it was by itself. So I was like, you know what? It was only 100K UPIC. So, and I had stuff left over, and I was just kind of like over it.
So I only went in with 190K, so I didn't have much of a budget at all. So I was pretty selective in what I got. And it was awesome to see. I tweeted this out, like somebody put a tweet out, and I said, yeah, it was like a wave of bacteria. If you've ever seen those time lapse videos where I think it's like there's a really good one that I remember that shows evolution in action. Like they have a big massive agar plate, and there's antibiotics in different strengths or something like this, and the bacteria, it hits the wall of antibiotics, and then most of it dies. But of course, it doesn't kill it all. And the ones that develop resistance, then it's like a little node, and then it spreads out like crazy, and then it hits the other wall. That's what it was like. I was watching. I was going to like totally unminted neighborhoods, and I was just watching the wall of
bacteria.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It was just like spreading cancer almost. It just looked freaking awesome.
Wow.
That's what it was like. It just looked really cool. So, I just enjoyed the process because I didn't have a massive budget and I wasn't looking to do anything in particular. I really enjoyed the release of Rio. It has been funny to watch. Yeah, it has been funny to watch some of the other YouTubers put out there. They did like live streams, recordings of Rio, and they'd jump to a property and they'd click the mint, but it was gone, and they were getting super frustrated. I was like, yeah, I didn't have that experience at all.
I had that.
Did you? Yeah.
But I woke up a half an hour late. I jumped into the MVE Discord voice. I was there with Goldie, Fancy, Zoe, Dog, and Banana.
Well, you're lucky to get anything if you woke up half an hour late. It was pretty much all gone within the hour. So no, it was very cool. I enjoyed it. I did what I wanted to do, and because it was free travel, I think I had 4,000 UPEX left. So I just went hunting around and found a 4,000 UPEX property, or the cheapest I could. So I got back on the plane to Chicago with like 200 UPEX or something.
You took advantage of that free flight.
I was back on the plane out of there in 40 minutes, I think. Yeah, and then I just kind of watched what was happening for a while, and then I tried to go back to bed, but obviously that didn't work. So I just got up and started doing some other stuff because, yeah, what was that? Was it 10 p.m. or something like that? Or something crazy. The stress test was 2 a.m. the night before, and then the actual release was 10 p.m. So I was up for God knows how long. So it was pretty rough the next day, but no, I super enjoyed Rio. It's very fun.
I don't see a reason to go back there though until they open up something else. I mean, unless you enjoy that recurring rush thing.
It depends. If they opened up a massive section like they did in LA, where they essentially open up a mirroring of the city, so say it was another 50,000 properties or whatever, I'd definitely go over there with probably about the same budget, 200K, something like that. And again, all I'd be interested in doing was be minting up floor flippers. I'd buy as many of the cheapest properties as I can. I'll sit on those for a year and see what happens.
True that. So we have you, myself, and the other UCN broadcasters have an interesting meeting this Monday. We don't know what it is, but I'm expecting some cool stuff.
Changes. That's all we know. There's some kind of meeting for some kind of changes. That's all we know. Yeah, that's 7 a.m. my time on a work and school day. So I will be ears only for probably maybe 20 minutes. I won't be able to do much at all.
Come on.
Well, the UCN meetings at 7 o'clock, and I start work at 8 o'clock. So I'll have to default to your eyes and ears.
I'll try my best to concentrate. Squirrels.
You'll have to give me a recap.
I'll try my best. I'll do my best.
Do my best, dude.
Don't call me dude. So now I don't really see anything else going on. I mean,
yeah, we know Decor's just around the corner. We're still flat out with that.
Yeah.
We've had a bit of frustration with that. I don't know. Should we dive into that at all?
Sure, why not?
It's the Whine and Cheese show after all. So we knew that. Well, we were told. Well, maybe we should go further back. So way back in the good old days when I first submitted my business proposal and it was accepted. The business Samurai Aquatics was going to be about indoor swimming pools and garden ponds and this, that, and the other thing. Of course, a year later, once the actual system all started to develop, we were told, can't do anything with water, so bad luck, your whole business is basically kaput. So we started again from scratch. But we have been pushing the limits. Like they said, well, technically you can have water, but it can't have transparency. It can't be moving, which we took moving to mean animated in the 3D art, which we thought, okay, so, we've pushed the limits of that. And we came up with it was in my original business pitch, actually, which was like tiered bird bath, garden, fountain sort of things. So we got a really cool one together for that, which for the couple of people that are in the Samurai Aquatics Discord server already who have the sneak peek or VIP access, they've already seen the work in progress of that, which is what did I call it? A smashing of the brains between you and DTech with your artistry. It was just freaking came out amazing.
Thank you.
But yeah, as part of that, it's a 3-tiered fountain, and DTech arted in like water going from one of the bowls to the next and down. Obviously, it's not animated, it's not moving, so we thought, oh, we should be able to get away with that. And they're like, no, you can't have any moving water. Okay, so technically it's not moving, but it can't even look like it's moving. So we had to go to stagnant water in the bowls. So that was one of the other ones. And then we, as part of the 10-piece set that we're putting out, we had a kind of outdoor seating arrangement with a fire pit, and DTech did a lot of work to get the fire texture in there, so it looked really cool. We submitted that, and they said, no, you can't have fire. I'm like, okay, don't know why, but yeah. So we know we can't have flowing water, we can't have fire. I assume we can't have wind. We can't have earth. I don't know. There seems to be some kind of elemental restrictions going on here. What's going on, Cheese?
We were going to have a big Ben statue blowing a fart out, and now we can't do that because no wind.
I missed out on that meeting.
I know. I just made it up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where often we don't know what the rules are until we submit something and find out, no, you're breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So then we have to go back and reassess. But we did have a good breakthrough this week, which Cheese and DTech and we got together and spitballed out a bunch of things for future possibilities. So
yeah, and the SKUs, we finished the SKUs up. We finished the ideas for the themes and features and whatnot for most of it.
And there's a lot of frustration associated with that too, because we have to essentially tell the team every single iteration of what we want to do for any particular item. Otherwise, in future, we can't say, hang on a minute, now we want to do this. And they're going to say, well, you didn't tell us you were going to do this, so now you can't do that. Which I guess that seems, how do I explain that better? What's an example we could just, okay, so let's say, which we haven't, but let's say we made an outdoor decor piece as a mailbox. Okay, a mailbox that goes in your front yard or whatever. We need to tell them all the colors that we want to do. We need to tell them all of the shapes, all of the sizes. You know, if we want to do a Christmas letterbox, well, we need to tell them about that. If we want to do a freaking, I don't know, what a summer letterbox or whatever it is, we need to tell them everything up front.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if a year down the track, we can't say, okay, now we want to do a blue letterbox with a white stripe. Well, they're going to say, well, you didn't tell us you wanted to do that, so now you can't do that.
I hope someone's doing a letterbox, because like I'm thinking about it now, and that would look really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, how can you predict so far in the future? We don't know what the customer interest is going to be. We don't know what the needs are going to be, what the restrictions. So there's been a lot of frustrations with that. We've done as much as we can, but ultimately it just gets to the point where we just go, I don't know, we'll just have to leave it at that and see where we go. And you look like you're well and truly squirreled. What's going on?
No, Goldie is saying he found me coastal. I'm like, I wish I knew which coastal he found me, because I don't have any coastal.
What? I was giving you the coastal during the minting. When you jumped on, there was
you
still
were telling
coastal...
me these names, these really fancy names that I have no idea how to spell. And thank you for that. I appreciate it, but I'm too stupid. I'm a stupid sheep.
So there was literally still coastal like 30 minutes in when Cheese popped in. It was still coastal. It was because up on the island, people had not drifted in yet, and it was doing that creep thing where it comes slowly. And then I either describe that as like wildfire, meaning it's running really fast, but pushing, or like the zombie creep where it's just like moving slowly property to property. It was kind of creeping over there, so it was still moving down that coast.
I didn't get any. I guess some all the way at the bottom, the one where we said looked like a penis.
Well, of course you went for the penis. There's no.
Well, no, I don't have the penis. That's the fort. That's the $1 million one. I'm like, right. The full area.
Oh. So you went for the scrote instead of the penis. Okay, I got you. I know where you're coming from.
You remember now, right?
Yeah, I went in the scrotum, of course.
Yeah, but I wish I got on the coast. You did try. Thank you for that, Goldie. Cheese.
Encino Man, the cheese is old and moldy. Where is the bathroom? Yes. All right. Shall we try to get this show back on some sort of track?
El queso es viejo y mojoso. Yes.
Jeez,
All right.
old-
Let's go.
Do you remember that, or did you look that up?
I know Spanish. Like.
I'm impressed.
Yo entiendo un poquito español. You know. Estás la suerte de mi vida, Nueva York. Where's Dog? Dog should be in here. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So, what's this first article that we've got? Who brought us this one?
That is Finsky.
So the Finsky. Apparently, this was Time Magazine. Now, this website sucks big time. So, just going to front load that with that. And I'm going to try and get rid of this. No, it won't move. All right. So what's this about? The metaverse will reshape our lives. Let's make sure it's for the better. Now, we did just release 2 clips from last week's show. The metaverse, is it going to suck? No, of course not. The metaverse is already awesome.
Exactly. And just mind you, people, we haven't read any of these articles because that's just how we roll.
Normally one of us is prepared, but yeah, like I said, this is literally going to be the worst show ever.
So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission reports that in its first 6 months of 2022, the word metaverse appeared in regulatory filings more than 1,100 times. The previous year saw 260 mentions. The preceding 2 decades, fewer than a dozen in total. So I guess it's just saying that, you know, the metaverse is becoming more and more relevant as time goes by, yada, yada. Facebook changed their name to Meta. They're talking about how the 6 of the largest public companies in the world are busy preparing for the metaverse, reorganizing and rewriting their job descriptions for construction, blah, blah, blah. So basically,
this just seems like a rehash of everything we've been talking about. Because we talked about that Facebook is doing their ass, losing 10 billion. Yeah.
I think Finsky just Googled metaverse and then closed his eyes. And
that's the way to do it.
I love you, Finsky, but come on, man.
Crypto has crashed. Oh, FUD. So too has Facebook's market capitalization. I mean, it's a cool cover. I like the cover, Into the Metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
To many, it's a good thing that the metaverse seems to be sputtering. The largest tech platforms have already established enormous influence over our lives, as well as the technologies and business models of the modern economy. It's also clear that there are many problems with today's internet. Why not solve them before moving on to what Mark Zuckerberg calls the successor to it? Does he now? Sputtering? Is it sputtering, or is it just that this is still all very new and emerging?
New and emerging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's like any new and emerging technology. Some things are going to fizzle and die. Some things are going to do really well. It's just all part of the process.
Anything
the metaverse, a 30-year-old term, but nearly a century-old idea is forming around us. Every few decades, a platform shift occurs, such as that from mainframes to PCs and the internet, or the subsequent evolution to mobile and cloud computing. Once a new era has taken shape, it's incredibly difficult to alter who leads it and how. Yeah, well, that's exactly the point, isn't it? Like, I remember my old man when he first got a car phone. Like, he was super impressed to show everybody his car phone thing, and it was through his work. It was like this giant freaking box in the car, and it still had the cord attached to it, and hardly worked. It cost a fortune to use. I mean, and now 9-year-olds are going to school with their phones and have to have them confiscated because they're playing Angry Birds in the classroom. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I didn't have a cell phone until I was out of high school.
Yeah, me too. When I first started university, I got my first cell phone.
I had beepers though. I had beepers. Do you know what a beeper is?
Yeah, I never played with the Blackberries and shit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or even before then.
Well, I used to work in a, oh my God, this is going to tell my age. I used to work in a cell phone / video rental store. So I knew everything about cell phones. I knew how, well, the old ones, I knew how to reset a Motorola, like the tinfoil in between the two things and the 0 13 times and then reprogram it. I knew how to change screens on a beeper if they got scratched or water damage. But I was working from a young age, but I didn't own any of them until I was, later on. They were too expensive back then. Like today, you can get really cheap plans and whatnot, but back then, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I remember I had a Nokia, which was kind of it was a bit of a brick, like it? Nokia. What do you say?
Nokia.
Pinocchio.
Nokia.
Oh, Nokia, you. Yeah. So this thing, it was like a little brick. It was clunky or whatever. And when I first moved to Japan, which I think that was 2005, something like that. Don't quote me on the date. I'm shocking with dates. The company that I worked for, they set us up with a phone, and it was just like a little flip phone. When you fold it in half, it was about the size of a matchbox. It was just like a little toy.
I remember those. Those were really popular. The little Motorola tiny matchbook flips. Yeah. You just hold it to your ear. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, and like you'd take a photo and it was just the blurriest, shittiest photo ever, but it was like, whoa, I could take photos on my phone. That's cool. Because I like the Nokia, I remember I used to play Snake on it, and I worked for weeks, and I finally got the Snake to completely fill up the screen, That's how much of a fiend I am once I get stuck into mobile games. But yeah, so I lived in Japan for 2 years, moved back to Australia for 3 years, and then when my wife and I moved back to Japan, she wanted to get an iPhone, and I was dead set against. I don't want a freaking iPhone. Who wants an iPhone? But of course, she won the argument, and then the rest is history. The technology moves super fast, and I just see all of this as exactly the same. Well, where do you think we're at? Are we at the brick portable phone in the car? Are we at the Mars bar Nokia? Or are we at the little flip phone? We're definitely not at the iPhone. Where are we at?
I think we're still on the brick.
I think so too.
I think we're still on a brick. Like, this is so new. By the time like 10 years passes, we're going to be blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away. We're going to be so old then.
Yeah. I think we've moved past Pong. I think we're kind of playing Space Invaders almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Call of Duty, but we're still playing Space Invaders.
We're on video cassettes. We're not on the DVDs just yet.
Oh, I think, yeah, way before then. I remember my first computer, Commodore VIC-20, you had to load the games on a cassette tape. It used to take about 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was just to play like a Snake game. It was classic.
Cubert. I think Cubert was my first computer game. Not console, but computer game. And I was blown away.
It was the same. I remember that when I got that VIC-20, it was a hand-me-down from one of my dad's friends, and it came with it was like a phone book. It was so massive, like how to code games, and it was basically you just have to copy it and type it all in. And I spent weeks and weeks and weeks typing this code in, and of course, if there's one error in there, the file won't run. So it was just so frustrating. But yeah, but it was pretty cool once you finally got it up and running. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Made a game. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, what does this say? So what is this future? Think of the metaverse as a parallel virtual plane of existence that spans all digital technologies and will even come to control much of the physical world. This construct helps explain other common descriptions of the metaverse as a 3D internet. Doesn't have to be though, and why establishing it is so hard, but also likely to be worthwhile. Yeah, I think the whole 3D headset side of things, that's only one part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like we always use I always go back to the McDonald's example. Like you go to McDonald's in Australia, nobody orders from the counter anymore, except like, I don't know, drongos and dead shits. You walk in and there's like a hallway of massive tablets on poles. You just go and boop, 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 click what you want. It spits out the number and then you've already paid for it there with your credit card. Yeah.
The only time I would think somebody would go to the counter is if they had like a special order, like do not put pickles on my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you could just take them off. Like I'd rather.
I'm sure there's that within the scope of it. I think you can even ask for that within the scope of the platform I'm using. So all that needs to lean into the metaverse side of things is some kind of, maybe there's gamification of that process, or maybe there's NFTs associated with it, or I don't know. There's always been eat to earn mechanics in fast food, like Subway. You eat so many subs and you get the 10th one for free or whatever it is. So there you go. There's another term: eat to earn.
Eat to earn. There you go.
Yeah. So that's been there forever. So it's only a matter of time before that transfers over. Like we've already seen in this show, we've talked about clothing companies getting involved in the space, and
so this article was a nice little kind of grouping of everything we've already talked about.
Well, I think it's a time article, so that's kind of what it needs to do, isn't it? It needs to sit in the doctor's office for people to flick through, and
yeah.
Do people still read magazines? Or is it just all online? I haven't bought a magazine and newspaper for probably 3 years.
Yeah, same.
Even online websites. The only time I really go to online news websites like this is for this show, because like we said before we kicked off, you load up one of these websites and they're just that full of ads and pop up and shit. So most of my news and current affairs and all of the stuff I'm interested in, I just get from YouTube. There's so many YouTubers out there doing really awesome content, and like some of the production value on the content's incredible, like almost to the level of well-established things like 60 Minutes and whatnot, So, yes. And the best part is I can listen to it at 2x speed. I really don't know how. I would hate to listen back to this show at normal speed.
Ben, I'm getting
stick
bored.
Pencils in your ears.
I'm getting bored. We got to go to the next article. I don't like this article.
Finsky.
I like Finsky. I like Finsky.
All right.
Wait, is that me? Me?
Yep. And the second article is from the one and only legend of MVE. Well, not the one and only, because we got two. Zoe. Zoe got for us.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You wanted to move on? Come on, dude.
I had it.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the excuses.
Oh my God.
You're live. Pressure's on.
The beat is
recorded live. Yeah, please, for the love of all the gods, train yourself to listen to things at least 1x speed. Half the time I listen to stuff, I think it might be Spotify. I can go to 3x speed on Spotify. I like that.
Yeah, you got me into doing that, which is really cool.
Yeah, you get to watch more shows.
Yeah.
Get more content.
I got it. Wait, is it the Disney thing? Yeah. Oh my God, worst show ever.
This is your show. Disney backs Metaverse plays in its latest class of startup partners. So I thought Disney, weren't they poo-pooing on the idea of NFTs?
No, we did a whole show on this.
Oh,
Yeah, we did
There
a
you go.
whole show where Disney was starting to interview people for their virtual reality group that they wanted to create.
alrighty. What do we got here?
All right, Disney backs Metaverse plays in its latest class of startup partners. It's focusing on Metaverse with the latest class of startups the company is backing. The Burbank, California-based entertainment giant chose 6 companies to participate this year in the Disney Accelerator program. Oh, which companies? Disney provides the companies with capital, workspace at its offices, and access to executives and business. Now, are these new companies or in-place companies? Oh, here we go. Participants this year include FlickPlay, which is a social media app that lets users unlock non-fungible tokens tied to real-world locations. That's pretty
That
cool.
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
NFTs tied to real world locations. I've heard of that before. What a great idea.
Exactly. Obsess, which helps brands create 3D virtual stores on their websites, and Red 6, which makes a headset that can be used to tap artificial reality experiences in active outdoor settings. That's cool.
I like the second one. Create
Obsess?
3D virtual stores on their websites. Help
Me
people do
too.
that.
I was actually
cool.
like typing that out somewhere else to go check it out later.
Well, that's
I'm
like
obsessed.
where was that sex metaversey thing? Where did I go there? Was that Decentraland? I forget, from last week's show. I had to actually sign up and go in there because I wanted to get a thumbnail for the clip. And that was kind of cool, just kind of walking around with my little avatar. I think it was Decentraland, or maybe it was Sandbox. I don't remember. But yeah,
Maybe.
it was kind of cool. Yes.
Oh, previous participants in the program launched in 2014 have included Epic Games, maker of the Fortnite game, and the Unreal Engine graphics tool.
Yeah, that kind of feeds off of last week's show. We were talking about how Epic Games, like Microsoft, is Minecraft. Well, at least for the time being, they're saying they don't want anything to do with blockchain and NFTs. Where Epic Games has come out and said the exact opposite. They're all about it. So I'm really, really interested to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Whether it be, do you think they'd be brave enough to introduce NFTs into Fortnite, or would they just do a whole new kind of spin-off thing?
Might be a bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, it would make, like we said, Fortnite's primed to be an NFT kind of game, but the backlash that they're likely to get from dunderheads and dead shits is probably not worth it.
I like
So we
these
shall
little words you come up with.
I do talk a lot of shit, so it's pretty easy. Now,
Dunderheads.
we're moving on, are we? Article number 3. Who brought us this one? Cheese.
Hold on. Let's see.
The Crown Prince of Dubai says he has a metaverse strategy that will add 40,000 jobs and 4 billion to the economy in 5 years. 4
Kevin
billion.
Loda.
Kevin Loda. 4 billion. That's not a headline anymore. Shanghai is spending, what did we say, 52 billion. 40,000 jobs is pretty cool though. Dubai. Wonder where those jobs will be.
Yeah, well, I mean, they think big over there, and I know Saudi Arabia.
look
I
at this
sent
one.
you that weird link about them creating a mirror city above their own. Did you
Yep.
read that?
Yes, it's very cool.
That was
So here you go, read that.
Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Wow, that's a long name. Crown Prince
well.
of, and sorry if I said it wrong. Crown Prince of Dubai announced a new metaverse strategy for Dubai on Monday. Is that why you wanted me to read?
Yeah, I was trying to throw you under the bus, but you did really well.
I lived in New York. Everybody lives there. You have to learn a whole bunch of different pronunciations.
Yes, so the Crown Prince of Dubai has his eyes set on the digital world. So we do know there's already a player from Saudi Arabia that's the biggest player within Upland, at least at the moment. So, that's cool. I mean, Crown Prince is all about it, going to spend 4 billion over 5 years, fostering talent and investing in future capabilities by providing the necessary support in metaverse education aimed at developers, content creators, and users of digital platforms in the metaverse community. Cool. I wonder where it says where. Which aims to foster innovation so that everybody's keen to spend money to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, they
Yeah,
know
there we
this
go.
is where the future is,
Perfect. That's exactly the question we're asking. It was not immediately clear how much the Dubai government would invest in supporting the strategy. Oh, that's the government. Sorry. No, that's not what I was thinking. The latest metaverse announcement from Dubai is in line with the city's ambition to attract more emerging technology and crypto companies. Now, there is something interesting there that, like you said there, that they're mirroring their city in real life. So we've already got Shanghai spending 52 billion. Dubai now going to spend, what was it, 4 billion? So they're big figures that they're throwing around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to kind of be in the now later on, you have to.
I guess even more so for these, like Dubai, isn't it? That's built on fossil fuel economies. Maybe they're thinking of ways to start transitioning away from that.
Yes, if you read that article I sent you, it says that that city that they're going to be creating above their city, the mirror city that's going to go across their whole country, is going to be completely non-reliant on fossil fuels, and is going to be all like natural energy.
Cool.
Yeah.
The United Arab Emirates has big dreams when it comes to business in general, and says that Web3 is a big part of them. Yep. Double the size of its economy in the next 10 years. Yeah, well, they're not going to double the size of their economy on more oil exports, so kind of makes sense. Cool. In the area of augmented reality and virtual reality, which play a part in the overall metaverse economy, the UAE currently hosts a total of 6,700 jobs, which contribute 500 million to the economy. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was going to say it's a good way to kind of like evolve and move forward from the old ways of the way the economy made money, like you said, with the oil.
Here we go. Read that one for me.
In April, Global Investment Bank Citi said that the potential size of the metaverse market around the world could be between 8 trillion and 30 trillion by 2030. But
all right, bear with me. 8 trillion and 30 trillion. Now, we did say in this week, the market cap, the entire crypto market cap has, when we did the UDU podcast, it had dipped below 1 trillion. So it's back above 1 trillion. All right. So if the metaverse market economy is 8 to 30 trillion, what do you think the crypto economy is going to be?
Oh, it's going to be up there. Like this is I don't know, people saying that crypto is down and this and that. I feel like it's on its way. I mean, look at Polygon Matic. It's back in the mid 90s now. You were kind of laughing at me before when it was down, but
I wasn't laughing at you. I'm still buying. I'm dollar cost averaging every single day, so I'm definitely not laughing. I'm just gobble gobble gobble. But yeah, it reminds me of what's the show? Love and Marriage.
Married with Children.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other. Okay, so can you have a metaverse economy without a crypto economy?
I don't think so.
They're intrinsically linked, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, so do I. So if the metaverse market cap at the moment is, well, it can't be anywhere near that. It's got to be within maybe in the high millions. I would assume, like companies like Upland have been valued at, what was it, 300 million or something? I'm just pulling that figure right out of my ass. So okay, so let's say the metaverse economy is in line with the crypto economy at the moment, worth let's say for shits and giggles, it's currently sitting at about 1 trillion. So it's in line with the crypto market at 1 trillion. Well, if the crypto market's 30 trillion, what's the Bitcoin price going to be? It's going to be, yeah, baby, that's what it's going to
be. It's going to be well over 100K.
Well over. Yeah, if you're talking about a 10, 20, 30x, holy moly. So interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And people freak out like, oh, I didn't buy crypto back in well, people will say to me, oh, you're lucky you bought crypto in 2017. Yeah, but I kicked myself that I didn't buy it in 2011 or whenever it was when some of the game developers I know started mining Bitcoin on their laptops. You know, you can't look back. If you keep worrying about that you missed the boat, well, yeah, you're going to miss the boat. Start putting your toe on the boat. Not financial advice, not investment
advice. Not financial advice.
Do your own research. Not marriage counseling advice. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, that looks like the end of that article anyway. But yeah,
I like these nice fast articles though.
Yeah, we're getting through them. Even we don't know what we're doing. I'm just getting low system resources again. But yeah, there is more and more money every single day coming into the space. Like I think I said in last week's show, when we started this show, we're like, oh look, they're spending 100 million. They're investing 100 million. Now it's 2 billion. Now it's 100 billion. Now it's 50 billion. The figures are only going up and they're not going to go down.
Yeah. And by the way, this was a Kevin Loda article. And I believe the next one is a Kevin Loda article.
2 in a row, Kev. Greedy
or ambitious. Greedy.
And this is another Fortune article. So as KPMG enters the metaverse, the big four firm calls multi-trillion-dollar estimates conservative. Well, there you go. That just kind of feeds off. If companies are investing billions, then yeah, multi-trillion estimates might be conservative. Look at these goddamn pop-ups. This is why I don't do websites. Websites suck.
You need ad blocker, man.
Big Four accounting firm KPMG is entering the metaverse. KPMG US and Canada are opening a metaverse collaboration hub to connect employees, clients, and others with Web3, a so-called decentralized version of the internet. Blah, 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 blah. It's collectively making a $30 million investment in Web3 experiences with the metaverse hub as the signature piece. That's just, they're quoting them what they've said. The way we look at it, it's not just augmented reality and virtual reality. Yeah, I think a lot of that's the part that's missing. Like all of the stuff that, if you talk to your mum and dad, people that know anything about the metaverse, they see the images of people with freaking the goggles on and freak out about it. And it's that full on Ready Player One sort of situation. But that will be a part of it, undoubtedly, but that's not going to be mainstream. I don't think that's going to be the mainstream aspect of the metaverse. The mainstream aspect of the metaverse is going to be things like, what do you call it in the States? The DMV. Okay, you got to renew your driver's license. Well, you're going to get on over to the DMV website. You enter their little portal with your little avatar. You line up virtually or whatever it is, and then you go about your business. You get a ping. You might interact. You're probably going to interact with some kind of AI interface to do what you need to do, pay your account, this, that, and the other thing. You'll be issued your driver's license, which is going to be an NFT. And, it's going to be more just the boring day-to-day stuff, I reckon.
It's going to make things a lot more convenient, which is good.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, and when you get home from, or maybe your work is in the metaverse. Like I said, my work can't be, but maybe you're some kind of office person and your work is in the metaverse. Well, maybe, you do put on your headset to go and do something else that's more entertainment based.
Well, this thing brings up your point. The hub will be primarily centered around education, collaboration, training events, and workshops. Adding that KPMG is currently using it for such things, but plans to recruit employees to build and scale it more as time goes on. Long term, the firm is looking at healthcare, consumer and retail, media, and financial services as other potential metaverse use cases.
Yep. So it's just your daily grind, basically.
Yeah, it'll make things more convenient.
Yep.
And at the same time, more secure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say more convenient, more streamlined, more secure. Absolutely. Yep. I think that's absolutely for sure. To justice, some of these estimates might be. Oh, here we go. Like, Citi estimated the metaverse represents a business opportunity worth 8 trillion to 13 trillion. So the last article said 8 to 30. So, you know. Even if hype surrounding the metaverse declines or levels out, Justice sees the technology as something that will endure. Absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
I still think that's conservative. 8 to 30 trillion. I think it'll be a lot more.
I think I'm pretty sure if I went back to my early crypto stats that I was playing around with when I was graphing out the global crypto market cap, I think when I got involved, the market cap was 200 million or something like that, maybe less. And now it's, you know, the thought that it was going to reach 1 trillion was just kind of, oh, surely not sort of thing, you know? So who knows? But yeah, definitely conservative. I would agree. And that's the end of that. All right, moving on. Let me close some of these because they're killing my computer. All right, who's bought us this next one, Cheese?
Next one.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have an epileptic fit here.
Cass.
Cassastra. What's this? Cookie cutter chicken NFTs? What's this?
Holy crap with a K. Fox Entertainment's Blockchain Creative Labs and Dan Harmon unveil NFTs for upcoming animated comedy series Krapopolis.
Hang on a minute. Fox Entertainment has a blockchain creative lab? Really?
I guess so. I mean, you know, everybody's getting on this choo-choo train. Krapopolis.
And if you're listening on the Spotify, what we're seeing is basically a GIF of flashing chicken cookie cutter NFTs, lasers coming out their heads, swords, fire.
Can you say the name Krapopolis?
Krapopolis.
All right. I want to see with your accent. All right, moving on.
Krapopolis.
I'm
creative genius behind the hit series Rick and Morty and Community, and Fox Entertainment's Web3 media and creative technology company, blah, 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 are excited as crap to unveil Krapopolis.com, featuring utility-focused chicken-inspired NFTs. What utility is a crappy chicken NFT, cookie cutter chicken NFT going to produce? Just speculate, Cheese. Where you go before we scroll.
Well, I mean, all right. So if it has to do with the show, maybe you could win certain things from the show, or you can get, if you have a certain chicken, you can see like memorabilia collection stuff. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, Rick and Morty and Community are big shows.
Yes. Marking the first animated comedy to be curated on the blockchain. That's cool. Krapopolis is set in a mythical ancient Greece and tells a story of a dysfunctional family of humans, gods, and monsters that try their hand at running the world's first cities without trying to kill each other. Okay.
I mean, I'm probably going to watch it. I got to say, I watch Futurama every night. Before that, it was Family Guy and American Dad. I am a big fan of adult cartoons. So,
you know, one just released on Netflix that I came up with an animated series and wrote the pilot and put a series of that were going to be children's books together. It's one of the projects I've had in a folder under one of the kids' rooms buried in a storage box for 10 years maybe. It was called The Thorn Bottoms, and it was about a family of humans that crash land on an alien planet, and they try and, because it was a kind of flip on. Most of the things we see is the alien lands on Earth and they're all weird, like Alf or Third Rock from the Sun and that sort of thing. But my idea was to flip it around and have the Earthlings essentially trapped on another planet. Well, I was reading the description for this new series that dropped on Netflix, and my jaws dropped open. I'm like, holy crap, this is like exactly my show. God damn it.
Well, maybe we should do like a cartoon comic for you, like set you up and have you like do your own NFTs and stuff. That would be so cool.
It was already in progress. It was already happening. Like I had it was with, I've shown you examples of my artist friend Stefan Wittig, like some of the stuff he does. He's the guy that did the art for me on my game PewDiePie and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was already well and truly in progress, but it's just one of those things where it's a time-based thing. I just don't have the time to do all of these projects.
Well, I want to read it sometime. If you find the time to send it my way, I'm interested.
Oh yeah, I can send you the first one. It's easy to do. It's just a PDF. So what do we got here? Anyway, so viewers will be able to purchase and collect NFT crap chickens that unlock exclusive utility and social media credits.
All right, so there
including real life experiences within. How can you have a real life experience within Crapopolis?
They're going to have their own metaverse.
But that's not a real life experience. That's a metaverse experience.
I mean, let's keep reading. I'm interested. I want to go to Crapopolis.
In addition to being one of history's earliest forms of currency, the Crap Chickens NFTs will give collectors access to Crapopolis, burgeoning digital ancient civilizations such as token-gated access to content and private screening rooms, entry to Discord channels, invitations to meet and greets with cast and producers.
Told you. Merchandise.
This sounds like the setup for a pump and dump freaking crypto token.
I don't know. I think it's amazing. Crapopolis.com will drop 10,420 crap chickens in total.
Okay, so they're copying Bored Apes. Sure, yep. Okay,
why 10,420? Because that's how many seconds it would take a chicken to run a marathon. Obviously.
Is this is a joke, right?
No,
this is a joke.
No.
Wasn't there 10,000? Isn't that how many Bored Apes were there? Wasn't there 10,000?
I don't know.
And 420? Come on, 420. You know what that means.
They're having a laugh, Ben. Obviously, each minted NFT will be unique, produced and illustrated by Crapopolis animators and generated from a wide range of attributes with varying degrees of rarity. All NFT artwork will originate directly from content that appears in the program. In addition to being one of the most groundbreaking storytellers in the business, Dan is a master at cultivating fan engagement and building community viewers. Blah, 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 blah. The first collection of Crapopolis NFTs and a new utility they will provide represent the early beginnings of how Dan and other creators harness Web3 to open a door and bring audiences closer to their content than before. Set to premiere on Fox in 2023, just next year, and created by Harmon, Crapopolis features the voices of Emmy Award winner Hannah Waddington. I don't know who that is. Richard Ayoade. Oh, I know Richard Ayoade. All right, I love this already. He's the guy from the IT crowd. He had the big hair. He was the nerd. I actually had a crush on that guy. Probably still do. Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadows. If you haven't watched that show is amazing. Pam Murphy, I don't know her. Duncan Trussell, don't know him.
Duncan Trussell's amazing. He's really good.
See, you're getting into this too.
I'm calling bullshit on this article. No, I'm just going to pull. No, I'm calling bullshit.
No, Crapopolis is produced by Fox Entertainment's Emmy-winning animation studio.
Bento Box Entertainment. No, this is bullshit.
No, it's not. The program is fully owned by Fox Entertainment. Jordan Young is executive producer, showrunner, working under blah, blah, blah. I think this is going to be great. And I'm going to crapopolis.com right now.
I think this is a load of shit. I checked. There are 10,000 Bored Ape NFTs, and they've just added the 420 name on because, you know, that whole 420 bloody reference. I think this is a load of
that
horseshit.
was their funny way of putting a spin on it.
I think this is like a...
Let's
This is
bet
like
a
an
nickel.
April Fool's freaking thing.
Let's bet a nickel.
I don't have nickels. Let's bet 1 UpX.
20 UpX because it's easier to do a send visit
Alright.
fee. 20 UpX.
20 UpX.
You heard it
Alright.
here, folks.
I call crap on this thing.
No,
I think
way.
it's a joke. I think it's a joke.
I don't think so. I think it's awesome and amazing.
We shall see. All right, I'm getting out of here before I have an epileptic fit with that GIF.
And you could get them on Rarible and OpenSea. So
I
I'm
think
guessing it's an ETH or Polygon type thing.
I think it's either a pump and dump scam or it's just a joke. So we'll see. So hang on a minute before we go on with this bet, because you know I am a tight ass. 20 UpX. I'm not going to just let that go on a willy-nilly sort of thing. It's got to be some pretty solid, rock solid. What's the word?
I'm going to
Evidence.
arbitrate this bet. I'm arbitrating this bet. Okay. Is that
Yes.
fair?
Arbitrating.
Okay. Thank you, Goldie. So I want to see. Cheese has to have a Crapopolis NFT in her wallet, and there has to be some utility for it. And then, and only then, will you win your 20 UpX.
What? That's a lot. That's a lot.
No, it's not. It's exactly what they said.
No, it's gonna probably be like 0.01 ETH or 0.05 ETH or something crazy like that.
Well,
Okay,
okay,
so
so
$80, $100.
yeah, all right. So you don't need to have it if you want to be a tight ass and you don't want to actually. If you don't want to invest in it to win your 20 UpX, then you need to be able to prove that somebody else does and that
All
there
right.
is utility.
And if I can, I'll try my best to buy one. I have some sales from my Polygon stuff that I can use to put towards
Yeah, I'm just calling total bullshit on that.
it.
I think who sent us that? Cassandra, was that hers? I think she's trying to set us up.
Yeah, I think she's trying to set us up for success. Thank you, Cass.
Fucking hell. Alrighty. Who bought us this one? What's this one about?
This one is from Umbrella.
Umbrella Boy. Class Dojo won over Classrooms. Now it's on $125 million mission to bring kids to the metaverse. Class Dojo. My kids, as part of the whole pandemic and the homeschooling and all that sort of shit, everyone was using Class Dojo. The teachers still use Class Dojo now to communicate with parents and that sort of thing. So I am well aware of what this program is. And even as myself as a kindergarten teacher, it's not Class Dojo that we use, but it is a program that's very similar to it. Like how we do everything on the program. Basically, it's Owner, it's called. I sign all the kids in, all of the medication forms, any communication with the parents, it's done through this app. So sounds good to me. Maybe
And
I
what
can
exactly
do more
can you do
metaverse
on
stuff.
there? Plus, like you just like talk about the kids, what they're doing, and they can just sign in and see what their kids up to.
Yeah, and the kids can get in and interact with stuff as well. Their homework can be patched through it. They can also earn rewards, like when they do their their homework and they submit it. It's like some kind of currency, like a ticketing system, or
That's so cool.
I don't
That
know. I'm a
is
typical
so
father.
cool.
Maya takes care of most of that sort of things, but yeah, it's definitely well established within the school curriculum, at least here in Australia. So yes, let's see. An 11-year-old tech unicorn led by under 30 alumni Sam Chowdhury and Liam Don was quietly valued at 1.25 billion by Tencent last fall as part of its virtual push. Now, Tencent, you remember Tencent, we talked about them, I think it was last week, as part of the whole China thing and Roblox. I think Tencent has the local license in China for the Roblox kind of game and system. So they're pretty huge.
All right.
Gaming. Here we look. We got buzzwords here: Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Roblox, all come to mind. But what has Don so excited isn't unique graphics or the simple gameplay. It's what this live demo promises: a virtual environment for kids that parents and teachers will actually trust.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
There you go. There you go. You read this. That might get you up to speed with what it is.
This is the feature of Class Dojo, the remote-based tech startup Don co-founded with CEO Sam Chowdhury in 2011. The British friend spent the past decade building an app that won over teachers with feedback and lesson planning tools, and then parents with features to communicate and receive updates on their children's progress at school. Now they're pouring their efforts and 125 million in previously undisclosed funding into a software environment beyond the classroom. Yeah.
So they're basically like what a lot of these companies are doing. They're looking at how they can, evolve their business into the Web3 metaverse space. So yeah, that's cool. I like it. Unlike other offerings, Class Dojo's virtual world is intended to be a closed, safe environment in which kids can build and hang out after school, all while participating in activities intended to, and then it's jumped around, subtly build valuable soft skills like creativity, collaboration, and sponsorship. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know the first thing my kids do when they get home from school is they want to get online and start chatting with their friends again. It's a lot of that's now you see they'll have their tablet down, they're playing some game. They'll have a Switch in their hands. They're playing something on Switch. They're watching a tutorial on YouTube on a tablet, and they've got their friends on speaker on, like, this is my eldest, of course. Hang on, let me go through that again. So Bodhi gets home from school. He wants to talk with his friends. They're building something, whether it be Minecraft or whatever. Yeah, they'll be watching both of them, or their group of them. They'll be in a voice chat on their mobile phones on speaker. They'll be actually playing the game on their switches, their handheld switches, and they'll be watching and following a tutorial or something on their YouTube on their tablet. So that's 3 devices to do one thing. So I forget what my point was, but yeah. I guess that's 3 points of access where nefarious kind of shit could filter in.
Yeah. This is nice where like you can kind of watch it and know that it's secure and whatnot. Yeah.
And I like the way that they're wanting to subtly build on skills. So yeah, just subtly introducing things that might learn you some shit. After testing with tens of thousands of students since late last year, Class Dojo is now unveiling its big new act in time for the upcoming school year, with the goal, according to Chowdhury, of making the company's virtual space available to at least half of the 51 million kids in active Class Dojo classrooms starting in August, so very soon. Cool. It's an ambitious goal. Pull it off and Class Dojo will likely find itself competing with well-capitalized public companies racing to control real estate, virtual and figuratively in the digital metaverse. Ooh, so there's an angle.
I'm bored.
You need to get you some education, lady.
I'm bored. I like this. I think it's really cool, but it's like all right. So basically, they're a metaverse for children that's safe and secure, and that you could learn stuff, and teachers use it, and it's great.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Moving on.
To go.
No, as a father of 3, I think that's very cool. I'm interested to find out more. Who's got us this one? NFT utility to remedy ticketing dilemmas. Experts weigh in. Ooh,
Moon.
I like this. Moon unit. Okay, so before we dive into this, read the headline. I want to spitball with you on just the headline.
All right. NFT utility to remedy ticketing dilemmas. Experts weigh in.
So, what are ticketing dilemmas?
Like parking tickets that you don't like, that you don't agree with?
No, I think this means like concert tickets and shit like that to events.
All right.
So you want to go and Scatterbrain, they're coming back. They're going to do another world tour to play Hey Dude, Don't Call Me Dude. That's going to be the feature act. Okay, so you want to go and see that show. How do you buy tickets for that currently?
Internet?
Yeah, internet. And you're dealing with oh yeah, Goldie, go ahead.
Yes, there's a couple real situations that have been concerns in online ticketing for a while. One of them has been transferability. That's been a big question of how do you do transferability, and the other one is counterfeiting. And those are both concerns, and they both have been happening. And the idea of NFT ticketing has been that you can have a verifiable on the blockchain transfer of ownership and or point of origin.
Yeah, because we know, like, if you want to go and see a concert, like I said, the traditional means is you get on a website. Half the time the website crashes if it's a popular thing. You know, you got to put your credit card details in, this, that, and the other thing. It can be difficult to get the seats you want. And then there's the whole scalpers side of things. Yeah, imagine transferring over to NFTs where, you know, maybe there's a perk, certain seating based on whatever standing you have within that community, or whitelisting even, like you got to be whitelisted. So that could avoid the whole counterfeiting, because counterfeiting's pretty much like the, sorry, not counterfeiting. What's the word? Scalping. So scalping is almost like what we see with NFT projects now, where bots come in and, you know, claim all the NFTs and then they try and sell them on the market. That's pretty much scalping. So whitelisting kind of helps reduce that. So I don't know. That seems cool to me. Cheese.
Sure.
Dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my car? There's a lot of talking. I need to see some article.
All right, dive in.
The 2022 Champions League finally will have a checkered position in the competition's history book. Real Madrid emerged victorious over Liverpool inside. What is this?
This is talking about ticketing for the soccer event, I would imagine.
Oh, but the pandemonium outside the stadium before kickoff highlights the need for innovative solutions to events ticketing. Yeah. So you were right.
This is what Goldie was saying. Counterfeit tickets played a massive role in the chaotic scenes that played out in the French capital in June 2022 as fans broke into the stadium precinct while authorities rebuffed many. So imagine, yeah, you've spent a week's worth of pay to buy these tickets. You get to the front gate and they say, sorry, you've bought counterfeit tickets. Bad luck.
Good for them. Woo-hoo. I'm just kidding.
You're not going to be very happy. French authorities estimated that 35,000 people arrived at the stadium with fake tickets.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That's good money. We should go to France and make some fake tickets.
Or we should start some chicken NFT project to suck people in. Yeah. 35,000 pissed off people at the front of the gates. Yeah, whoa, that could have got, well, sounds like it did get very bad very quickly. Black market ticket sales and touting, which is essentially, scalping, have been part and parcel of the sporting and events world for decades, but the advent of blockchain-powered ticketing looks to be a promising solution. NFTs are multifaceted in that they ensure the credibility of tickets and enable the Internet of Things functionality while also serving as a unique digital collectible to commemorate an event. Yeah, I've talked about this previously, I think on this show, where back in the day, I used to go to at least one concert every weekend, whether it be local shows or international acts. And I used to put the concert ticket in the CD sleeve. I thought that was always pretty cool. Like I had dozens and dozens of CDs that had the concert ticket or the flyer or something in with it. So yeah, if you're buying an NFT as a ticket to the show, well, that's going to hold a lot of value, even on the back end, whether it be like sentimental value or actual financial value.
True that.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. See if there's any more meat with these potatoes. There you go, Rick. There's a bit there.
The NFL has already tested the waters with NFT ticketing, having distributed around 250K NFT tickets after launch in November 2021. Wow.
Remember, we talked about that in this show. We talked about how the Super Bowl was offering NFTs.
Yeah.
I don't think that was.
It was the commercials. It was the commercials, and you like the cars, some food ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here you're gonna like that next bit. The NFTs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Fans that attended the NFL Super Bowl were also eligible for commemorative NFT tickets. Yeah, at no cost. How that NFT ticket looks and what it incorporates are up to the creators. The NFL's NFT tickets are minted on Polygon, which I like. I like that it's on Polygon. And feature different animated visual elements. That's pretty cool.
The French envoy for the 2024 Paris Olympics has also suggested the use of NFT ticketing solutions to manage attendance for the events at the Olympics as a trial run at the 2024 Rugby World Cup. Makes sense. We keep saying this is where it's headed. Blah, 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 blah.
Roro just sent me something with a really cool dino emoji, and it's so fucking cool. I can't stop watching it.
Don't send cheese squirrels. She gets squirreled enough as it is.
I want this so bad. Oh, how
users can claim the actual NFT. Okay, so devil's advocate though, we know that NFTs as a ticketing solution would be amazing, but how do you get the NFTs? How do you buy the NFT tickets? There's still that whole roadblock. There's so many scams. No? Yeah, but there's so many scams associated with NFT releases. You know, it's not. There's especially like if you're talking traditional Ethereum or Polygon based NFT purchases, that is a clunky process. You need to know about wallets and blah blah blah. Maybe Upland and Legits is a kind of solution-y thing because you don't need to know a damn thing about NFTs or blockchain to engage in Upland. Although I guess the whole legit system, that's a whole kerfuffle that is not very well explained during onboarding. So,
yeah, but I mean, even explained, it doesn't make sense to me because I'm not a sports fan. I'm thinking if you're really into sports, you're gonna make the time to kind of look into it. Like if you get into Upland because of that aspect, you're gonna want to kind of do your research. But I know what you mean. Like a lot of people don't really do that and they want like an easy format. The secondary sale market is also formalized. Tickets can only be resold within the system, giving organizers control of tickets, revenue data, and direct contact with holders. That's good.
Free R&D, baby. That's what that is right there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're some kind of, like, Cheese. She's a bloody... She gets up on stage with her guitar and she plays her songs, you know. So, you put your ticket prices out there. Okay, tickets for Cheese's show are $10 because that's what you think your audience... You think that's the kind of price point for your audience. I'm just using that for a figure. Okay, let's say 100, so you get your ego massaged a little bit. So, okay, tickets for the Cheese show are $100, right?
Yeah.
That's what you think. That's what you think is the entry point for your concert show. In the traditional system, at least a significant percentage of those tickets will be bought up by scalpers who will then sell them external to your system. And you, as the artist, have no real idea of what they will sell for because that's happening in the car park or online and that sort of thing. With an NFT system, you could still put your entry price as $100 for the tickets. But if you then saw, because it's blockchain, all the data is going to be there. If you then saw that these tickets are very quickly being sold for 120 or 150, then you're going to know, hang on a minute, the actual market is $150. You know what I mean?
What about over the counter OTC? Like, let's say somebody puts the ticket and says, somebody tries to buy it, somebody buys it and they're like, hey, do you need more? I have 5 more. We can do it over the counter.
Yeah, that's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
You can't get it. But I just like the way that this essentially just gives you data as somebody who's selling tickets. It could give you an immense amount of data that could really benefit how you move forward. So I don't know. I like it. This might be the best article yet, I think.
I still like the crap chickens.
Crap schmap. I'm going to take your 20 UPX and I'm going to love spending. All right. I don't know. I guess we don't need to dive into this any further.
Well, it's a good beginning. It's a good beginning for solving the scam thing. But, as things evolve, so do scammers. We'll see.
There was a crypto project I got in for the ICO for, I forget the name of it. It was an Australian-based company, I believe, and they were trying to set up something similar for voting, like actual, you vote for whoever you're going to vote for, like in elections and that sort of shit. It ultimately fizzled and died, but it seemed good there on the surface. Because there's almost nowadays there's so much mistrust with governments and how voting things are. Whoever wins, the other side's going to say, "Oh, it was a scam. You bought the election, you rigged the election, that sort of thing." So blockchain kind of essentially can remove all of that.
That's true.
So we shall see. But yeah, definitely early days. What do we say? We're still on the brick car phone. These things take time. Time and money, as we're seeing being thrown at it. Now, okay, this last article, that's a nice little fun one to wrap us up on. Who threw us this one?
This one was Zoe again. Yeah.
The Zozo.
Zozo.
How to throw a wedding in the metaverse. Okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, as Guilty would say, they had weddings and metaverses for a while now. Like the game I met Soli on, Anarchy Online, and I'm sure WoW, they have wedding type clothes. They have areas that you can kind of set it up with in-game stuff and people to kind of watch, and then they have a DJ booth. Like they have like a radio station dedicated just to that game. And I know some of the DJs on there too. It's really cool. And you could have officiates there and you could get married in the game, whether it be legal or not legal. I have no idea, but you sign the papers before and you just go there. There have been many people that gotten married back then. And that was like when I first started. It was 2003, but I didn't meet Soli until 2007.
Well, here's a question for you, because I don't know how long I've known you for, over a year, but I don't know. Like I know you far more as Cheese than I do as Angela. I know that you met your husband online, and he's from Finland.
Yeah.
Where did you get married?
So, all right. So we're pretty much like dorky geeks and didn't really date much. So we took things very slow and careful and cautious. We actually were friends for 2 years before we met. And then when we did meet, we dated for 2 years. And then when we did marry, we married in the Bronx. A lot of his family members came here for it. And then after that, they wanted me to move to Finland. And like I gave, like, if you stay here for a year and still want to go back, I'll go back with you. After a year, he didn't want to leave, but he was dead set on leaving in the beginning.
But you've obviously, I've seen pictures and that you've traveled to Finland and,
Oh yeah, we
done heaps of stuff
would
there.
go like once or twice a year until COVID hit.
That's pretty much mirrors. Well, at least because like I'm in an international marriage as well. Like my wife's Japanese. we got married in Australia, and there was, of course, we put the invitation out to a lot of the friends and family in Japan to come over for that. But of course, that's not possible for a large amount of people. And then on the flip side, after, because that was our official wedding, but then I think it was, I don't know, I forget, 6 months later or something, we went to Japan and we had another wedding there, but that was a kind of unofficial, more like a party kind of vibe. But there was a lot of our Japanese friends and family that would have loved to come to Australia for the Australian wedding, and there was a shit ton of our Australian family that would have loved to go to Japan for that side of things, because it is very different. It's, you know, different kind
exactly.
of a vibe. Something like this would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Some kind of component where there was an avenue for them to get involved. Like, I don't really give a shit about the officialness of it or whatever, but I think, I just like the way that this could open it up to greater participation from, because, you know, the globe is so much more interconnected nowadays. You know, the more and more people I talk to that I find out, they met their partner from freaking Mongolia or somewhere, you know, just random places. You're like, how the hell did that possibly happen? And, you know, it's kind of cool.
But it's funny, just to go say real quick. I've been to parties in Finland and they're not very eventful. They're very boring. I love Finland and I love like the people, I love the atmosphere, but I know when I had my wedding, Soli's younger brother, Alexi, I think he was 16, 17 at the time. And he, like, there's a lot of dancing. Where you're from the Bronx, you know, there's a lot of different kind of music. And his family got up and danced. Like, there was an open bar. Finns love open bars. And he told me this young kid went up to me as he was dancing with the food in his hand. This was the best party he's ever been to.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's weird like that, isn't it? Like, Japanese people by and large have, you know, people think of them as very quiet and reserved, but some of the wildest freaking outrageous things I've ever seen or been a part of happen in Japan. And that they have a thing over there, like an open bar, Nomi Hodai, where you pay a certain fee and it's just all you can drink. They get buck wild. There's some stories I'll never tell to anybody that wasn't a part of it. You know, it's crazy.
Well, I don't like that kind of crazy. Like, I just like because they're very shy, and I actually didn't drink one bit at my wedding. I was too busy either talking to people, dancing, or whatnot. But I had it just for the Finnish guests because they're very shy and you know, held back. But once they get some drinks in them, like, they'll start dancing. They'll start woo.
Yep. Very, very similar. Sounds very familiar. And I was the same. Like, our wedding in Australia, we spent thousands on booze because, you know, Australians and Japanese people love a good drink. So I had one beer the whole night because, like you said, it was just that busy running around.
Busy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's funny. That's very similar. They certainly let their hair down. So yeah, in the last few years, technology has become an even larger part of our lives worldwide. Even weddings are now making their way to the virtual space. Online weddings for guests who cannot attend physically have become more common occurrence, as many couples choose to have a virtual nuptials over video conferencing during the pandemic. But could a metaverse wedding be an option for them as well? I mean, if you're doing it online, it's kind of almost there anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's people getting together in a virtual space for communication and collaboration.
I'll tell you a really quick funny story. So I didn't really want a wedding. Like, I've never been to a wedding before my own. My own wedding was my first wedding. And we got married at City Hall. And I was okay with this, but his family was like, I want a wedding. I want a real wedding, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, you know what? We could have one just for you guys. And we found like a really good deal. We made all the decorations ourselves. And our second wedding, the guy who lived downstairs from my grandma at the time, he was just a great speaker, but he wasn't like any kind of, like, you know, preacher or reverend, but he was just a really good speaker, and we had him marry us.
That's again, that mirrors my own. Like, we hustled, we did all our own stationery, we had meetings with people like the bloody flower people and the decoration. We did that all ourselves, and we did
Our flowers,
super low budget.
our flowers were from the supermarket. We were sitting on the floor laughing with these buckets of flowers that we got. We wiped them clean, and I made my bouquet, and it was so beautiful. And like, I made all the flowers and this and that, and yeah, it was cool. That's cool that someone else did it like that too.
Yeah, it was just definitely half the fun was all of that sort of stuff.
Fun. It was fun.
All right, so what do we got here? People getting married in Decentraland. Yeah, it must have been Decentraland that I went to that sexy bloody thing, because it looks very similar. So yeah, I get it. Get in there. I mean, it was very, but it's probably just a reflection of how shitty my laptop is. It was very clunky, like when I was trying to walk around and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's probably, I know you've got a much more high-end device, so it's probably works out a lot better for you. But I had fun, like, for whatever the hour I spent just cruising around. I didn't spend an hour in the Sexpo.
I was just gonna say.
I can't back that up. I was only in there for a few seconds. I think that went straight over your head, which is probably just as well.
Yes, no, it didn't go over my head.
All right. So they were legally married. Oh no, so they were legally married in a traditional ceremony in 2008, and then they threw a metaverse wedding 14 years. Yeah, that makes sense. So there you go.
And you know what? Like, they would even have like, not even like, it would have how do I explain this? Gay marriages. Like, you didn't even have to be dating. Some people just got married because they were friends, and their significant others would even be there, which was weird. Yeah. I guess it's like a work wife, work husband, game wife, game husband, sort of like that.
This is interesting. That's an interesting angle here.
Instead of a traditional wedding favor, the Hurleys issued NFTs of their dog Pepper as gifts for the attendees. What was your wedding favor? I'm just curious.
We don't have that system here. That sounds like a gift that we give to the attendees of the wedding. Is that right? Yeah, we don't have that system. It's
like a commemorative gift. It's not like a gift. It's like something to kind of remember the day by. Mine,
yeah. Go ahead.
Mine was wine bottle stoppers. So like, if you open up a bottle of wine and you don't finish it, you could put this in there, and it was the fleur de lis, and it kind of had a ribbon with our dates and the names of our wedding.
Yeah, we didn't do anything specific. Like, there was a little bag of like chocolate treats on the tables, and that probably the thing we spent the most time on was the name card for the seating. So it had, we made those ourselves. It had the person's name in English and Japanese and this, that, and the other thing.
That's so cool.
That would be the only thing that was kind of like that, but we don't have that that system here really.
I would have loved.
It's more the other way. It's like, we'd already been living together. We don't want a freaking toaster or bloody this, that, and the other thing. So it was just we had a cash box there. If you want to,
we had a cash box too.
Yeah, if you want to put an envelope in there with cash, go for it. It's interesting in Japan. It's very much the opposite, and it is highly structured. And like, if you attend a wedding, like I remember when I first met she wasn't even my girlfriend at the time. She was just a friend. When I met Maya, she got invited to, there's like 4 or 5 of her friends' weddings, and they were all very close together. And she was like freaking out because you have to pay. There's a very formal process. Like, it's a very formalized envelope, and it has to have fresh notes from the bank. It can't be like folded notes. It has to be a certain amount. And this, that, and the other thing, and you formally present it to the couple as you come in. But it's expensive. Like,
yeah,
I think it's a couple of $100. And it was like her whole monthly salary was going to go to these weddings. So,
Oh no.
yeah. But one of the reasons is because to get married in Japan costs a shit ton, like to get married in a traditional sense, where we did ours differently. We basically hired out it was the Asahi beer hall in Nagoya. So we hired out a big, massive back room in the Asahi beer hall, which was very cool. You know, we had Asahi beer on tap and this, that, and the other thing. So ours was a bit different in that sense because it was just more of a party than anything else. But yes,
I want to try acai beer. It's like fruity beer.
they got all Asahi beer's kind of like saying, I don't know. There's so many varieties of Asahi. I like the black beer, which is kind of almost like Guinness sort of thing.
Oh, nah.
I like Asahi black, but I've stopped drinking, so I can only fantasize about those good old days.
Join me with Diet Pepsi. I love Diet Pepsi.
I got my ex beer fridge right behind me, right here. I could literally reach in and grab one now. This is what we're going to have a fire barbecue tonight, and I'm on. Here's a free plug. Great Northern,
What is
alcohol
that?
free.
Oh
This is
wow!
what we call it a stubby.
So you actually like the taste of beer?
When I gave up drinking, it was one of the things that I struggled with to go cold turkey. Yeah, I missed the taste, especially in summer. So I transitioned to that alcohol-free beer, which back in the day when I tried that 2 or 3 years ago, alcohol-free beer tasted like absolute horse piss. But it's actually pretty good nowadays. So yeah, I transitioned into that, and I was still drinking the same volume. Not that I ever drank a lot, but I'd have one beer after work, or maybe 2, 3 on the weekend, that sort of thing. It was just more the habit, like with dinner or whatever. Like if we're having pizza for dinner, I want to have a beer.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, I needed that transitionary phase where I was still getting the sensory feedback and the taste and all of that, but without the the damage and everything that ensues. But I've since weaned myself off that now too. I rarely have one of those. Like, because we're going to have a fire tonight in the backyard, I'll probably sit down and drink, 4, 5, 6 as we're sitting out there, listening to music, freezing our ass off around the fire. But, yeah, I forgot how we got onto that. But, yeah. What are we talking about? NFT weddings? NFTs at weddings?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's cool as a gift, or even as some kind of the payment to help out. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, my family was fairly cheap on my dad's side. My mom's side, the few remaining gave decent amount. We made nowhere near what, like even a quarter of what we paid in, which wasn't even a lot. I think the whole wedding with the suit rental, my dress, the venue. I did a buffet because, like, for me, I don't like to be served. I want to go choose my own stuff. I like variety, and it was out there the whole time. The DJ, which was a coworker, the open bar, it all came out to like a little bit, tiny bit over 10K.
It's very similar. Like we scouted out a really cool venue. We worked out a deal. It was all inclusive. We saved a lot of money by doing everything ourselves, like the stationery. We got our own all the alcohol. They charged a corkage fee, but we sourced that all ourselves and provided it. The flowers, everything like that. And even like, because we had so many international guests that were coming from quite far, well, I say quite far away, but it's like 20 minutes, but there's no way they'd be able to find the place because it was way out in the forest almost. We hired minibuses and, again, the dress, rings, everything all up. I think it was about 14 grand, which was really cheap compared to what a lot of other people spend. So yeah, that's cool how mirrored we are with a lot
I
know. Very cool. Just
cool.
As we're wrapping up here, BC for fun. What does that name ring a bell? Hello.
That does ring a bell.
How do I know BC for fun? Don't know. All right.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm on my patio. I was just doing a little work around here. It's a little sweaty, but that's my initials. And I like that fun, you know. Like I wish I was at your guys' wedding, man. I could party and dance.
Well, to be clear, it's not our wedding. We're not married. Yes.
Great wedding stuff.
Maybe in another
Yes.
life we were. Who knows?
And look at that cheese. Is that a bathtub in your
Yes!
backyard?
And a toilet.
Yeah, it was like this. Someone was giving away this antique bathtub, and it's cast iron. So I made a koi pond out of it, and I have some goldfish in there as well.
That is
Oh.
awesome.
It's a
That is-
man after my own heart here, Cheese.
Yeah, like what else could you want? Everything you need is right there.
Samurai Aquatics. Look, you sit on the backyard shitter and you sit
You
there
watch
doing a shit.
The fish.
Watch
in
the koi. Sun shining. Holy shit, you're living the dream.
We need to do a toilet now for our Samurai Aquatics.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool. It's not comfortable in the backyard, you know. We stayed
Yeah.
home, so we just
yeah.
the toilet's not really hooked up, but I had one replaced, and it was cheaper to keep the toilet. We got to pay to get it hauled off, so I was like, hey, put it next to the bathtub.
You should
Oh.
have it connected.
I want to make it
Yeah, well, I piss all over the backyard. If I'm out the back working and I'm all sweaty, I don't come inside. I just
Oh my
Like-
God. No.
and we have feral cats everywhere, so I pee along the boundary to keep the feral cats away.
I
neighbors
adopt
must
all
love
the
it.
feral cats.
Yes.
Oh,
I got a
Thank you.
Oh.
No worries, mate. I got a quick toilet story for you that's wildly off track, but that's a good one. I did the same thing. The toilet in our ensuite, there was a kind of and I think I've mentioned before, at least a cheese, like the house that we have is a renovation cowboys house. So there's been all these Joe Blows done all this renovation work to it. So our ensuite toilet, it always had a bad smell about it in summer. So I kind of worked out that whoever put the toilet down kind of didn't seal it properly. So, you're getting the smell coming back up through the sewage system. So I just got it in my head, right, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to replace it, do it properly. So yada, yada, yada. I pulled the toilet out. Now I was doing it as carefully as I could because I wanted to put the toilet back, but the whole side, they're so brittle. They're like these ceramic things. They're like a big coffee cup almost that you sit on and you shit in. So I pull in the toilet out. There was one more bead of silicone on the bottom that I needed to separate so I could get the toilet out. And the fucking thing cracked. So shit. So there's $350 something I got to go and spend on a new toilet. So I go to Bunnings, which is our hardware store system there. And toilets, at least here, they come in two packages. You have the base and then you have the top part. So it's two boxes, right? So I go to the checkout and the chick scans it and she says, oh, that's $780. I'm like, no, mate, you've scanned it twice. It's a one thing. Oh, right. She fixes that up, gives me a new receipt. I get home, I'm getting the big box out of the car. I hold the packing strap to pick it up, pull it out of the car. The packing strap snaps and the box falls down and just shatters into about 5,000 pieces.
What the fuck, Ben?
My God, why did I do that? So I go back inside and my wife could tell by the look on my face. She's like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, I got to go back to Bunnings. And once she realized what happened, she's like, can't you just tell them it was like that when you picked it up? And it's like, you can't. You moved the box. The thing's it's in a million pieces. There's no way they're going to believe it. So I go back to Bunnings. I have to buy a whole new set because you can't just buy the one piece. So I get back to the same chick at the register and she's looking at me weird. Like she had like this weird flipper. I didn't say nothing to her. I could see in her face she was just having this weird deja vu moment.
Was this in Australia or in Japan?
No, in Australia. So in the end, it ended up costing me the $750 or whatever it was. Anyways,
Did you toss on a different accent at least?
no, same shitty accent, same clothes, same bad attitude. Yeah, but yeah, the look on her face, she must have thought she was in a time warp or something.
If it was me and I was young and like you were coming in as an angry old man, I'd be like, couldn't stay away, back for more. You must really like your shit.
Well, I got my karma by giving her a shitty attitude when she scanned it twice.
Oh,
you know?
come on. Yeah, but she didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, you did get karma.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I had it. I was
from
in the shit
man.
because I'd broken the toilet. You know, it just cost me $350 that I didn't expect to have to pay. So, yeah. I guess the lesson in there is don't be shitty to service people. They're just doing their fucking job.
Exactly.
They're just doing their job. Yeah.
She's probably thinking good for your ass.
On that shitty note, I think you can wrap us up for the shittiest episode ever, Cheese.
I think this was great. We had some awesome people here. And to them and to the people out there viewing us, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up.
G'day, sickos. Okay, something different again this week. We are giving away one of Jonesy's Corporate World Hell on Earth NFTs. You know, the one featuring us, of course, the dynamic duo, Whine and Cheese. If you forgot what that was all about, check out episode 20 of the Whine and Cheese show. Now, to qualify for this, all you need to do is drop a comment in the YouTube for this episode and let us know what the shittiest part of the episode is for you and why. It might be this segment. If we get 14 or more comments, we'll upgrade the NFT from a common to the very cool-looking rare version. And it's mint number 14.
Laters.
Jeez, you're supposed to say later.
Oh, laters.
Fire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off your ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. You will let fire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. You will let fire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. You will let fire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.